Tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock. The sound of time passing us by, each moment. How much will this moment mean 4 years from now? What about 4 years ago in grade 9? Good evening, friends, islanders, countrymen, platform guests, family, teachers, and the class of 2016. Time is a funny thing. We sure have spent a lot of it in this school, and quite a bit in this gymnasium as well. Pep rallies, great sports games, some bad sports games. But the time we have spent here has been eventful. So let's go back a few years, to grade 9. I doubt many of us had graduation on our mind. We were so young, and frankly quite intimidated. See, our English class was taught by none other than the principal, Mr. Crawford. We were even more scared when all of his short stories involved death. It was a year of learning, that's for sure. Learning that we were the minor niners, and that's it. Nothing more than a group of kids looking up to those grade 12s as if they were gods. We eventually made it off of the bottom shelf and began grade 10. All I remember from that year was taking our first class, from whom the older kids called the dreaded Mrs. McGee. We didn't think much of it until we saw our homework for the first night. Also in grade 10, most of us were in Mr. Murphy's history class. All everyone could talk about was how he was a hockey player. I thought, geez, I hope he doesn't hit as hard as he hits us with assignments. Grade 11 was full of work. People started to ask what you wanted to do after high school. Work. And after you told them you didn't know what you wanted to do, they said, oh, you've got lots of time anyways, don't worry. Did I mention work? It was definitely the year where we began to realize that the real world is scary. I remember struggling with math in grade 9, but I'm sure most of you will agree it was a complete breeze compared to what Mrs. Compton's grade 11 math class gave us, and that was nightmares. She gave us nightmares. We came into grade 12 scared, partly because of the math nightmares, and many of us not knowing what next year had in store. Mr. Farrell helped alleviate that stress a little. He took the time to personally meet with each one of us students and talk to us about our plans for next year. Some he even met with numerous times. He gave us scholarship information, deadlines, and was always there for some encouragement along the way. So thank you, Mr. Farrell. Your efforts do not go unnoticed. And neither do the efforts of the rest of the staff here at Morrell High. Personal connections have been made with each one of you, and it may sound weird, but it is obviously fitting to say that we couldn't have done it without you. Amid the stress this final year brings upon us, we seem to manage to have some fun along the way. The drive-in, the 12 days of Christmas win with Team Coffin, intramural volleyball battles with the teachers, a night of bowling, and we cannot forget the spring dance, where we joined arms and swayed to the last song of our last high school dance, Don't Stop Believing by Journey. This is the part where you all go, "Aw." In 20 years' time, we will be back in this gymnasium for our reunion, and I expect to see all you graduates here. I expect Noah Maguire to be the Prime Minister of Canada, and yes, you had better make time for this event. I expect Ashley to get up on this stage and vent about the Mount Stuart Irving once again. And I definitely expect to see Stephen Young sprinting into that equipment room to grab a basketball, just like the good old days. Now, I seem to be forgetting to thank someone. Those people who drove us to games, practices, extracurricular activities, events, and so many other things. Then when we got our licenses, they were the ones telling us not to drive like they did. Then when we got, the people who supported us through high school, gave an extra hand when we needed it, and always asked, what did you learn today? Even though they knew the answer was, nothing. Our families. Sometimes we don't appreciate them enough. Parents, siblings, grandparents, you have all done the right things to get us here. And you're the real MVP. My time in high school has been incredible because of the people in it. Thank you teachers, custodians, coaches, cafeteria staff. Everybody that has been a part of this school have helped each other more than you can ever imagine. Now to my fellow graduates. There's a phrase we learned in grade 11 from none other than Mr. Coffin, and that is carpe diem, a Latin aphorism that means seize the day. But there's a second part to it that we all may not know. It goes carpe diem, quam minimum credula postero, and it reads seize the day, trusting as little as possible in the future. Get out there and reach for your dreams. Don't trust that tomorrow will bring you good fortune. You are a hard-working group of young people and should stop at nothing to achieve what you want in life. I couldn't have asked for a better group of people to spend this part of our lives with. Thank you so much for being there every day and making each one unique. I love you guys. Sometimes we don't know what others are going through, but you are the type of people that will take that moment out of your day to make someone else's brighter. Time is the greatest gift you can give. And as Rick Warren once said, when you give someone your time, you are giving them a portion of your life that you will never get back. Please, from someone who appreciated it with his life, if there is one thing you continue doing after high school, do that forever and always. Take time to make others smile, and that, in turn, will make you smile. Congratulations.